Ninja makes a splash online by saying it's not his responsibility to raise people's children and that they should be the ones to teach them about racism. Plus, a former CSGO pro who is banned for life from the esport makes a move to Valorant after an extended legal battle with Valve. And Fall Guys Season 3.5 is announced and what you can hope to see in the newest update slated for mid-February. All that and more next on The Breakdown. Ninja says parents should teach their kids about racism. Tyler Ninja Blevins has called for parents to take responsibility with their kids when it comes to toxicity and online respect instead of shouldering the blame with somebody like him who streams video games for a living. He said this all in an interview with the New York Times. And in that interview, Ninja took a strong stance when discussing race and questions surrounding the importance of a parent figure to help guide impressionable young kids online today. Ninja was asked several questions by the publication about a number of things in his life, but the question that seems to stick out the most from the interview came when he was asked what could be done to mitigate the chat comments that essentially turned into a cesspool and eventually turned into derogatory or racial slurs, to which Ninja said, quote, "It all comes down to parenting. You want to know who your kid is? Listen to him when he's playing video games when he thinks you're not. Here's another thing. How does a white kid know he has white privilege if his parents never teach him or don't talk about racism? If they're gaming and their first interaction with racism is one of their friends saying the N-word and they have no idea what it is, what if it was on my stream? Is it my job to have this conversation with this kid? No, because the first thing that's going on in my head is this kid is doing this on purpose to troll me. If somebody says a racial slur on someone else's stream, it can potentially get that streamer banned. It's awful, but that's the first thing I think of." After the interview blew up, Ninja responded to criticism on Twitter, arguing it's not my job to sit down and make a video with all of my audiences and do a lesson on civil rights and how not to be a racist. I show that I'm a good person through my actions and how I treat people and those around me every single day. Ninja's conversation on toxicity isn't out of the blue. Studies report online harassment and cyberbullying has risen 70% amid the ongoing health crisis. So what do you think? Should popular streamers be looked at to start conversations regarding race and online toxicity? Or is that mainly something for parents to handle with their own children? Tell us on Twitter at CheckpointXP. Former banned CSGO star Yampi switches to Valorant. It isn't often that you can get banned from one competitive sport and just switch to another, but that seems to be exactly what Swedish player Jamppi is doing, following in the footsteps of former CSGO players banned for their role in the iBuyPower scandal who also now play professionally in Valorant. Yampi is a player rife with plenty of controversy, since he was banned from competing in professional CSGO tournaments after Valve determined that he was cheating using outside programs while he competed professionally. Yampi then filed a lawsuit against Valve, hoping to have a court force Valve to reinstate him as a professional player and remove his lifetime ban. The lawsuit has unfortunately led nowhere, and while still remaining benched from his former team ENCE, Yampi has decided to make the move into the Valorant competitive world, and it just may be the smarter choice than attempting to fight to get back into the CSGO ranks. With no real majors in sight for the esport, plus the decimation of the NA region of CSGO, Valorant has seen all of the hype build up behind the new esport on the block, and allow a second chance for many former pro players and even players who are banned from competing in Counter-Strike again. He announced this news via his Twitter from his home country, Sweden.
But obviously, it's like a fresh start for me, just mentally, obviously, like in CS. I knew I could be one of the best players and compete against the best, but you know, there was always some things in my mind that about the ban and everything. So I think it's just a first start for me in Valorant, and I hope at least there's nothing that can stop me.
Plenty of teams will jump at the chance to add him to their roster in a developing esport, and possibly even build an entire team around him. If you want to stay up to date on the latest in Valorant news, you can always check out our website at checkpointxp.com. Fall Guys Season 3.5 details and release date. Despite a decline in popularity, Fall Guys has remained one of the most supported games by its core community, thanks in no small part to all the content released in recent months. And that doesn't seem to be slowing down with the announcement and reveal of Season 3.5. The mid-season update, which will bring radical changes to all stages, mainly winter and holiday ones though, seems to be a welcome addition to a game that is in a desperate need of something to bring more casual players back to the game after the flood of sweaty tryhards began dominating. So what can we expect in this new update? First of all, developers have announced the update will bring more than 40 changes to the existing stages, which will bring a fresher and more challenging design to these, as well as bring in a whole new stage, of which no details have been shown at the moment. According to some social teases, we can expect the dev team to drop the silly naming convention of adding bonkus to the end of any new additions. And with that, hopefully a more serious look at the new stage that will be added into rotation. In addition, the update 3.5 will bring new DLCs to the in-game store and will bring back collaborative Godzilla, Sonic, and Untitled Goose Game skins, which will now be part of the regular store when the update launches. Also, new shows and costumes will be released during the weeks leading up to the update, and they have finally left a hint about what Fall Feed could be, something that for now remains a mystery, but is expected to be a new interaction system within the game. But what could it be? Only time will tell, but we won't have to wait that long, as the new update is expected to launch sometime in mid-February, though no official launch date has been announced quite yet. That's it for the news today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're always posting brand new content right here on our YouTube channel. But did you know that Checkpoint XP is the only syndicated radio show in over 70 cities across the US and Canada that talks exclusively esports and video games? If you go over to our website at checkpointxp.com, you can see where we're airing and if we're in a city near you. And while you're there, check out the podcast feed for the breakdown and take the esports and video game news on the go. My name's Weirdbeard, and I cannot be the only person in the world waiting to play Hitman 3 on VR. Still.